Alright, soldier. I want to react to one of our latest one-star review. Most of our other reviews, they're from players who get what we're trying to build, fans who gave us honest high scores, and we know why. But this one, this dude, Yopus, let's just say he had a lot to say. So let's take a look at his review line by line and break it down. He starts off by saying, "With all due respect to the developers, the game is awful. Thanks, I guess." Then he says it feels like a beta, or even worse, like a game that hasn't even started development yet. Well, first of all, it is early access. That literally means unfinished. Meta has extensive documentation right there in the store explaining what that means. For gamers, for consumers, for anyone who's about to click buy. So, I don't know where the disconnect is here. In fact, our game is not even beta. It's still in alpha, and we've been fully transparent about that since day one. We're constantly sharing updates, changelogs, dev diaries, everything. Maybe before dropping a one-star review, Yopus should have visited our YouTube channel, looked up some gameplay footage, checked out the reviews, or joined the Discord. And if you don't like what you see in the first 20 minutes, that's fine. Meta has a refund policy for exactly that. This isn't a trap. If the game isn't interesting to you, refund it. That's how the platform works. He goes on to say, "I'm a PC, console, and VR player. I play extraction shooters, but this game, it doesn't make any sense. It's not interesting, and it adds nothing new." Well, if you're so experienced, if you really know the space, then you should also know one thing. It makes no sense to judge a work-in-progress game like it's a finished, full-release title. That's just not how this works. And comparing what we're building right now in our free time with games that had millions in funding and years of full-time dev work behind them, that's not just unfair, it misses the point completely. We're laying the foundation, and if you're genuinely experienced in VR extraction shooters, then you'd see that, you'd recognize the things we are doing differently already, and the insane potential sitting right under the hood. You're also not entirely right in saying we add nothing new. We're literally the first VR extraction game with no floating menus, and ironically, in your own review, you gave our menu a 0-10. So, yeah, thanks. Because that's actually by design. We made the menu a living room. We built clever wall markings for calibration. We gave you a tablet companion that works like a real device, with a mail client, map app, and more incoming. So forgive me, but it doesn't feel like you even explored the game before criticizing it. And by the way, if the pace felt slow to you, that's probably because this is one of the hardest shooters in VR. This isn't point and click. You get hit with up to 3 bullets, sometimes 1 to the head, and you're done. You need real reflexes and tactical awareness, not just fast thumbs. So, no offense, but I strongly disagree with this part of your feedback. Then he hits us with the scorecard. Graphics 6 out of 10. Gameplay 5, design 5, story a fat 0, mechanics 4, and the menu another 0. And now let's talk about this. You gave the menu a 0-10, but let me flip that around. In our case, that's actually a 10 out of 10 because you did play, and you didn't even realize you were in the menu. That whole living space, that's the menu scene. No floating panels, no arcade UI. It's all part of the world. That's immersion, not absence. Then there's the story 0-10. We literally just released the first seasonal storytelling system in a VR extraction shooter. Maybe you missed it, but it's there. You find intel, you uncover pieces, you connect the dots. It's subtle, sure. We're building it like a conspiracy you discover, not spoon-feed. And here's the kicker. Your own scores say graphics 6, gameplay 5, design 5, mechanics 4. That averages to a 5-10, yet you gave it 1 star and called it trash. You see the contradiction, right? That's not feedback, that's venting. We respect opinions, but let's be real, if you're going to criticize, at least match the score to what you just said. Otherwise, people will think you didn't put in the effort, not us. Alright guys, let's wrap this up. I hate bullies. If you do too, like this video. Subscribe, it's just a click for you. But for us, it gives this project a voice. Thanks for watching. Stay strong, soldier. Agent out.